for me, I like all breeds.
Yeah.
So some of the persons that influenced my training is number one, Caesar Milan. I don't know if you know Caesar Milan,
Yeah, I do.
dog whisperer.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of his videos, and I used to follow up his program then, Dog Whisperer, when it was airing on Najwa.
Yeah.
I think it was on for like some years or so. But I got to know about the show when it was almost ending.
Okay.
Although I was an opportunity to see some episodes
Yeah,
from that program. And there's something Zamilian will always say. Zamilian will say, it's people tend to look at the breed first,
Yeah.
and it's not supposed to be the breed first.
Yeah.
The first thing we need to look at is animal,
Yeah.
then species,
Yeah.
then breed,
Yeah.
or dog before breed,
Okay.
because they are all dogs.
Yes. People have this breed preference, like I want this breed, I want this breed. I think that we have that problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And normally, if I'm to judge a human being, I'm going to judge your personality first.
Yeah.
Before then I might now go to like your parents.
Okay.
Then I'll now start talking about where you're from.
Okay.
I might now go further to say your race and all that.
Okay.
I think it's the same mentality people use to judge dogs.
Okay.
But for me, it's a mistake. It's not supposed to be like that. And this is what Susan Milan always say, and it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
They are all dogs first before breed.
Yes.
And that is why it's interesting or surprising for most people when they see a Lhasa Apso, for instance, acting aggressive towards a Boabu or a Rottweiler.
Yeah.
Or they see a German Shepherd being afraid of a pug or a small size dog.
Yeah.
What you're seeing is completely different from what the dogs are seeing.
Yeah.
They are responding to energy.
Yeah.
But you are seeing size.
Yeah.
And you're wondering, why the heck is this happening?
Yeah.
Is this dog not supposed to chew this dog or attack this dog and all that?
Yeah.
So it's not like that for the dogs.
Mm-hmm.
But for we humans, we tend to look at breed first before we tend to look at breed first before dog.
Yeah.
It's dog before
The
breed.
breeds, yeah.
And when you understand this, it becomes easier to work with dogs.
Yeah.
And that is why I can see your Boabu, for instance,
Mm-hmm.
and immediately I start playing with him.
Mm-hmm.
Some other persons will come into
And
this
they'll be like,
compound and they will be afraid to
Yeah.
even near the dog.
Yes.
Because what they are seeing is
A
breed
giant big
first size.
dog,
They are
yes,
looking
that
at the
can
size.
just.
I'm not looking at size.
Yeah.
I'm connecting with the dog based on energy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reading the dog's behavior. I'm connecting with the dog.
Yes.
Size is not as important to me as the energy of that dog. I
Yeah.
want to know the dog,
Yeah.
not the breed.
Yeah. Not know the personality.
Yeah, not the breed.
Yeah.
If you judge by breed, you miss the point.
Yeah.
So I don't have any particular breed I fancy or like. But if I'm to keep a dog, I will keep a dog that will protect me.
Yeah.
And that was my major reason for getting a German Shepherd in 2013.
Okay.
And in 2013, I went into personal protection and guard dog training
Okay.
because in the time where I stayed, kidnapping,
Okay.
home invasion, all those things became too common.
Yeah.
A lot of things were going on, and I was also going to school. That was the same year I got admission to
Okay.
university.
Okay.
And I was like, I needed a dog that can protect my family
Okay.
while I'm away.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a German Shepherd. I went online. I started studying about dogs. I always like to point out or mention some of the persons that influenced my training,
Okay.
because no man is an island. Even though I'm self-taught,
Yeah.
but I won't really say I'm self-taught. I learned from people, but I had to go through the experience myself. Nobody was physically there to tell me do this, do that. Everything I know come from tons of research, study, and then practical experience too.
Yeah.
So one of the persons that really influenced my training as a guard dog trainer, personal protection dog trainer is Mike DeBrusso.
Okay.
You won't know him. He's a US based dog trainer.
Okay.
Mike DeBrusso of K91.
Okay.
They do a lot of real life situation dog training and all that. And I got really interested in his work. And I used to see lots of videos on dog training, what they do in their training center, their facility and all that. And I started practicing with my dog. I didn't have a helper. A helper like someone who put on a bite suit, agitate the dog, try to make the dog bite and all that. So at the beginning stage, I had to act like the suspect. At the same time, I was also training the dog on obedience. So I had to permit my dog to bite me, do all sort of rough play and all that. And it actually worked for me. Until the dog was about 6 months or so, I started inviting strangers to the house. I started agitate my dog. When my dog barks at you, act afraid and run away and all that. Because all those things build the confidence of the dog.
Yes.
And then I will stay behind the dog and keep encouraging the dog to bark and to try to go after them and all that. So it kept building the confidence of my dog. And I was able to train and raise the personal protection dog. Even though some persons, they will say it's impossible, but it actually works. And I have followed that method for a couple of dogs. And now I do more of advanced stuff and all that. But this was how I got into personal protection dog training. And surprisingly, there was a time when some I don't know if they were armed, but they tried to scale our fence. But because of my dog's reaction, they ran away. Because the dog was barking and they were trying to scare the dog off, but the dog kept coming. Like that dog would literally scale the fence to bite you. He was that good. His name was Shadow. He's late now. Shadow died in 2016. Still about 3 years plus before he died. I still have clips of him. Because most people, when I talk about it, they just feel like, oh, it's overhyped and all that. But Shadow was that good, in my opinion. And that experience really taught me a lot. They robbed other compounds, but because I had a dog, they trained that dog. And they tried to scale the fence, and they saw how serious this dog was. They left our compound that particular night.
And I'm thinking this might have encouraged other people around you to like want to get a dog.
It encouraged them to want to get a dog, but then I was away, so nobody would do the training for them. I was in the university then. I just got admission into school, which was very painful somehow to me because all I wanted to do from that point was just to train dogs. I never saw it as a career though. But I just wanted to train dogs. I wanted to be around dogs. I wanted to learn more. And here I am going to university to study a course that's completely out of my passion.
What you want
out
to
of
do.
what I want to do. And I felt grounded. And I spent the first, this might sound silly, but it actually happened. I spent the first year in school seeing objects as dogs. I might be walking on the spot, I might be walking in my department, and I would just see a sculpture or grass somewhere, and I would think it's a dog. I'll have to look again.
Yeah.
And I realized it was not a dog I just saw.
Yeah.
And I was staying alone in the school. I was not in the hostel.
Yeah.
I had my own apartment. I was staying in a self-contained apartment. And I saved up some money, and I was ready to get a dog.
Dog.
But then I went online. This is more like a sad story. But then I went online, and I saw a dog being listed, a puppy actually, a Rottweiler puppy, listed for 40,000 naira. And I was like, I have to get this dog. I'm not mentioning platform. I didn't have to mention a platform. Not like they scam people
Yeah.
there or
Yeah.
anything. But
Do we need to really mention? No, we don't have to mention.
Oh, okay.
Because, yeah.
okay, so I saw a dog listed on
A platform.
a
Yeah.
platform online for sale. So I contacted the seller. I was very excited. I don't know why I got carried away, but it was something that has to do with dog. And I felt like, oh, it was cheap and all. It was too good for me to not be true.
Yeah.
So, and I was, let me say I was carried away or whatever, I don't know. So I contacted the seller. And I was hearing dogs at the background.
Yeah.
So it made me to believe
Yeah.
that this person is actually real. So
And you sent money and
I sent money to him that evening. Sent 20,000 naira to him that evening, and I was to send the balance the next day. And the way he was communicating with me, telling me, snap the receipt, make sure you have the proof, so that when my delivery guy comes to deliver the dog to you, you have to show him and all that.
And this was another state. He told you it was in Lagos.
It's not legal. I think somewhere is it Ondo. It's one of these Yoruba states. Yeah. And I was in Imo State.
Okay.
So I paid the balance. Everything was too real. I paid the balance. That morning I called him. I was hearing some dogs barking, and the place seemed busy.
Yeah.
Like they were trying to load car or that kind of thing. And he said he had some puppies coming to Port Harcourt and some puppies coming to Owerri, but then they have to stop by Owerri first to drop mine with me before they continue to Port Harcourt. So I was like, okay, I was waiting for my dog. So excited and happy.
And the dog never came.
Never came. At around 3 p.m. I kept calling. At around 3 p.m. he said they were already in Owerri. They would soon be at my place. I should make sure my friend is gone. I was very happy. I kept telling my friends, I'm getting a new dog, this. I didn't get any call again. I tried calling, his phone was off, called the driver, it was off. Till like 5 o'clock. Yeah, that was when I realized I had to stand. This was a very huge money to me then. I was in year 1. I saved all that money. I could have used it for something else.
Yeah.
But I used it to try to get a job when I was young. And that was when I decided, okay, you know what? Maybe I'm possessed like my mom said, because that was the time she said I'm possessed.
Okay.
That is a spirit of dog.
Yeah.
I have to go for
And it's common with our
deliverance.
parents to say that, yes.
So I have to go for deliverance. So I started feeling like, am I really possessed? You know, I was asking myself, I said, am I really possessed? Like, I just sent 40K to someone I don't know. And I've been scammed. That was when I had to tell myself, okay, you know what, just forget about this dog thing for now and focus on your studies. So I never thought about dog again from 2013 till 2016. Both training, whatever, I did not do anything concerning them. I just focused on my book work. You know, a lot of things happen which you don't plan for.
Yeah.
But most times it's like they are destined to happen.
Yeah.
Because if they don't happen on purpose, will not be fulfilled.
Yeah.
My dad was an Ajib staff.
Okay.
Well, the Ajib was a senior staff in Ajib. My dad had some personal issues, his own issues. But then when he retired, he didn't retire well. Let me put it that way. What we expected was not how it turned out. And I saw it playing out, and I could see it down the line to how it was going to be. Not like it was going to be too difficult, but I knew where it was heading. And I decided I was going to take the training as a professional career in 2016. So in 2016, I was opportune to meet somebody. I was passing along one road in the way close to this Concord or Rockview Hotel in the way. And I saw a guy with some Caucasian on the street who was trying to sell the puppies. So I stopped by and I told him, how much is it? I asked how much is he selling the puppies, and he told me he was selling them for 60,000 naira. And I said, you know what? Let's strike a deal. I will sell the puppies for 80,000 naira. No, I didn't tell him the price I was going to sell. I just told him I was going to help him sell these dogs. He should give me 1 week. And he said, okay. And he came to my house, to know my place. I went to his house too. And I took the puppies. There were 3.
Yeah, you guys were trying to build trust.
Yeah. So there were 3 puppies. And I took the 3 puppies and I went to Ajib. My dad worked in Ajib, so I knew the whole area and all that. So I took the 2 puppies. I went all the way from Owerri down to Omo, and I went to Hawkins Dogs. And I stood there for quite some time. It took me 3 days to sell the puppies, and it wasn't easy. So I had to go. I had to stand like morning till evening before I even get somebody to even talk to me or even price the dog and all. And I was able to sell 2 of that puppies, and I gave him his money. And I took 20,000 out of it. I made 40K.
You made your 40K back.
I made 40K. So I made 40K from selling the puppies, and then I decided to keep 1 of the puppies. And I told him I was going to pay him. And I saved up some money and I paid back. I paid him for the puppy I get. I trained the dog for 6 months. It was a Caucasian. I named him Top. So I trained Top for 6 months, and I also added a female German Shepherd. Shadow was still alive. So I added a female German Shepherd. I got from Jos. My dad helped me acquire that female from Jos. Through that guy, I sold his puppy. So when I got the female, I decided to go into breeding. It's funny because breeding didn't work for me. So,
sometimes when we go into breeding, you go into breeding with when I sell this, I'll make this, I'll make this, I'll buy this,
exactly.
I have like 20 to 30 dogs.
That was just my calculation. That was just my calculation, man. And the plan seemed perfect in my head.
I swear down.
So I went to do breeding and I got my first litter just 3 months after acquiring the female dog, because she was approaching her 2nd heat before I got her. So she gave birth to 6 puppies. I lost 1. And I was able to take care of the remaining 5.
Yeah.
It was hell selling those puppies. was hell selling those puppies. A lot of persons don't know this, but I have pictures. I always keep pictures. I took the puppies. Damn, it was hell selling those puppies. I don't know, it's quite funny. So, I took the puppies from Owerri. Nobody was pricing these puppies the way I felt like they should be priced. A lot of persons were trying to give me 25, 30,000 naira for my puppies, and I was not willing to sell my puppies for 30, 25,000. Like, why would I sell my puppies for that amount? Not considering all her expense, feeding the puppies, taking care of the mother and all that, the dam and all. So, I decided to come to Port Harcourt. So I came to Port Harcourt with my puppies. 4. I kept one in the house. So I came to Port Harcourt with puppies, and I had one friend here. He was staying around Rumola then or so. And I told him my plan, and he was willing to join me. You know, I used to trek from Rumola to GRA with puppies in a basket. I did that for 1 week. Sell those puppies.
But you sold.
I sold 2. It was many 2. And last 2 gave me problems. Man, I know all the spots they normally stand or hawk dog or sell dogs here in Port Harcourt because I have done that before. There was one time we went to Casablanca. Casablanca. Yeah, it's just around about there also. And we stood there till like 10 o'clock in the night because we were trying to make sure we sell those 2 puppies. The other night I went to Genesis. Genesis, the one in GRA close to the Polo Club side or so. In that Togo extension area. Now I know the names of the street, then I did not know.
Okay.
I was just roaming about with dogs. That experience taught me a lot. First, it taught me to respect street workers.
Yeah.
I can remember one very painful and touching moment where we stood. We were there from like after trekking from Rumola, going different locations, trying to sell the puppies. Nobody was giving us a reasonable price. We had one man that settled for 40, but we were bent on selling the dog for 60. So we decided we were going to try all means that particular night. So we went to Genesis. You know, you see lots of big people go in and out. And we've been standing there and nobody's talking to us. And I decided I was going to start knocking on the door.
Oh my god.
So I'm approaching the vehicle, I feel like this person has money, I'll just go and knock. And then I approached one man. He was just coming out from Genesis with his wife and kids. The rest were quite nice to say no, they don't want to buy, or at least say a word.
Yeah.
And this guy entered his car. As I was approaching him, he just started whining me. Never said a word to me. And he had ice cream, meat fry, they were eating in the vehicle, and I'm like, fuck. this hurts. He never said a word to me, and then he reversed and he drove off. So we left that place that night, and we sold the puppy to the man that offered 40K. And I came back to school. The last meal, I just gave him out because I lost hope of selling the dog. That was the experience. it was crazy. That experience was crazy. It taught me a lot. That was that was my first time walking. Port Harcourt and in Owerri. In fact, I even became popular in Owerri because I used to take dogs from people to help them sell, just so I make profit from it.
Yeah.
Make like 10,000 naira.
Yeah, we all did that. I had my own time too.
Yeah, I know that.
But I didn't do the hawking part. The first time I came close to a dog, I was in Owerri.
Yeah.
And I was working in ICT department in Owerri, that's naked there.
Yeah.
I was also doing a part-time here. So, but that didn't really work for me.
Yeah.
So, but at that time, the owner of the compound where we stayed had a dog, but he wasn't around. His name was Jimmy.
Okay.
So I also took a picture of him. So that's on my Facebook. So every time I know that this dog is fully fed and nobody takes care of him. And I knew at that time I couldn't, start bathing him because I have to go to work. I go to work and I have to attend class, and I'll come back in the evening. But one thing I know I do is I always share my food with Jimmy. I know the kind of food he likes. I know he likes. I had no idea about how to care for this animal, but I know he liked rice. I know he liked meat. I couldn't afford chicken then. Chicken is for the high class VIPs. So I'll get it's a Caucasian mix, like I don't know. I think it's a Caucasian, but not the maxi breed of Caucasian. So, but every time I'll give him, I was mashing potatoes, yams, and whatever I have at that time, I and Jimmy would share. Sometimes, and it just took me away, and I was like, I think maybe when I come to Port Harcourt, I'll get a dog, and I was living in this place, I think around Arudi, and you're like, this thing with female dogs, you can't have female dogs, and I wanted to have a female dog then because I'd already done a lot of research, and I saw that these dogs you could actually make one or two, you understand? Because I was schooling then, and I was like, if I was going to save up to buy a dog, at least the dog should help,
with your bills too.
No, not really my bills, her own bills. Yes,
okay.
Because
of the amount you spend.
feeding. I had to now learn how to groom a dog. Because she was hairy. After I got her, she was, I got it very expensive. I saved for close to 8 months. As a girl, then my mom had a shop. I was getting some small money. They didn't know I was saving 80,000 naira to go and buy a dog. I was so excited because my same calculation. I was by the time
investor vibes.
By the time I put in, she gives me 7-8 puppies. I'll sell 80,000. That's when I'll tell my parents. By then they'll be like, boom, really? Because my family then, I think I was the first person that started having dogs. I was the first, like my dad, my parents, they don't know. They don't even, in fact, they don't want to even hear. You understand? My mom, my dad, my siblings, I'm the only girl, so if anybody is going to like a dog, it should be my brothers, not me. My dad has always been against the fact that I'm into dogs. But what could you do? Nothing. In fact, the first love started when we had this neighbor who had this dog, but I couldn't go close because they are all about privacy. But once they walk the dog, and I'll just be, let me touch your dog, let me just say hi to them. And they'll be like, no, don't touch my dog, don't touch my dog. And I'll just be like, no problem. Every time I just look at them, I'll be like, oh, when do I have a dog? Okay, let me just move on.
And you recall the breed.
And one thing about these dog things is that you never forget as a child, really. You never forget. Those pictures are being stored. Just like you had. I was surprised when you could remember things. My own happened earlier though. I was already 16, 15, 16 when my it wasn't as early as 10. I knew nothing. In fact, I think I was still in primary school. Yeah, so I knew nothing about those. I was just all about myself, what my parents want me to do. But when I went out at that time, that 15, 16, that's when you start looking for admission. You're able to go out, see things, travel. Yes. That was one of the times you start having freedom to go and write exam, go for your WAEC lessons. That is around the time as an average or a young teenager, the parents start allowing you to do things.
Yeah, and you start discovering certain things you have interest for, and you start going after them.
Exactly. So when I got my first, it was an Eskimo.
Okay.
It wasn't. Was it an Eskimo or a Lhasa? I don't know one of them, but that dog was expensive. But then later I found out that the person played me wayo. Hey, that the person bought the dog for 40,000 and sold to me for 80,000. So 100% return of investment.
Cashed out on you.
Cashed out. I was so mad, but what could I do? So I think it was a Lhasa. It wasn't even a pure Lhasa. Her name was Jerry. Sherry, yes. So she grew up to be, I don't know even what to say. I don't know, she grew up to be, she's a mix. I was so ashamed of myself because I wanted this fluffy, small, thing you could carry, cuddle. But she said growing and growing. I was like, maybe I'm feeding this dog too much and I need to reduce feeding. So when you go online, you see people's dogs, people's Lhasa. So, and she called it a Lhasa. So when I saw it, small, fluffy, hairy, And I'll be like, my own is not. But anyway, I still love that. She's one dog that, if she's here, you might not be able to come close. She's overprotective of me. We're like paddies. So, that and that happened. She never littered though. I got tired because everybody wanted the dog to go. They didn't want me to keep the dog, so I had to just I sold her for 35 or 30,000 and I was paying. But after I sold her, I think 2 or 3 months later, the person I sold her to said she came on hits. That was when they started telling me, maybe she came on hits while she was with me, but I never knew what. I think I was seeing her vulva, I never got to that area, but I knew that if she's going to get pregnant somehow, it didn't occur to me how she was going to get pregnant.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I knew. I just knew that but I knew that there are male dogs, but I don't know where to go and see a male dog. So, the person I sold Sherry to told me that she came on it, we mated, we sold pups and all that. Sherry gave birth. I said yes. I said, oh, send me pictures. Send me pictures. Pictures were fine. We sold puppies, and that was when I started doing my research. Okay, I was going to get my next dog, but I was going to get a very good breed. So I started making friends, go to where my dad works, started making friends, talking to people about dogs. So there's this white guy, I can't really remember. I think his name is Raw. I don't know. Raw or Hotspur, something like that. I think it's Hotspur, but they call him Raw. So he had this dog that he came. He's an expatriate. He had this dog that he came into the country with, and he was like, okay, I was always, come on, I want to touch this dog. It was for an African child. I don't know. There's a way they looked at us then. So why are you so interested in this dog? I was like, I don't know. I just love. So he was living then, and he decided to keep the dog with me. She was beautiful. She was. I think I have a picture, just one picture of her and him on my Instagram. Sorry, my Instagram. So she littered. Okay, she littered, and he couldn't travel with the puppies, and he needed to leave. So he asked me to take care of the puppies and the mom. That was. I think I started selling. I sold her pups at that time. I think I sold for 80,000 naira. Because I sold for 80,000 naira because I knew I bought my own 80,000 naira, even though she wasn't pure. So I said, okay, if mine that's pure could be, if I got one that is not pure for 80,000, I should be able to sell these pure ones for. And I didn't know how he did the mating, but the way the puppies came out about 2 months, they were looking very fine. They were. I checked online. What I was seeing online was close to what I'm having. Yes, now I'm getting it. So I started selling puppies, and I will just post on my I think the same Facebook then. I don't know. I think I reached out door to door, and I was telling people I have dogs. I have very fine puppies for sale, and some people around me were aware. They started telling people about me, and that was where and how I started having to sell dogs. Then I migrated, or I grew from having Lhasa. My next breed I had was Pugs. From Pugs, just like that.
I'm interested in this your Pug story. Like,
really?
How did you get the Pug, guy?
Okay. Pug. I think that's a story for another day.
Because I've never lived with a Pug before.
Really?
Yeah.
I've lived with the Pug with all my. I think I was one of the first person in Port Harcourt who had a Pug. I don't know. I've always had Pugs. Like that time. It's a long time ago. I think I've had Pugs. I've lived with Pug for like I don't know, maybe 8 years. Or I've always had Pugs. Yeah. I think after Lhasa was the first breed I had, and Pug was the second breed I came across with, and I've always had Pug. Also from friends too. This friend was she was around, and she came in from Abuja with a Pug, and she was like she doesn't want to go back with the dog because she's not going straight to the house. She wants to go somewhere first before going. And I was like, okay, my house, what am I doing? You can keep the Pug. That was how I had my first Pug. And I've always he was a male though. No, there was no female to me. So we lived. I think it was about 3 years then. Then we lived. I didn't advertise him. When people see him, they say, he's ugly.
I used to react that way too to them.
So they say, that is ugly. So I know beauty is in the eyes of the viewer, that they see ugly, I see beauty, So I was like, I kept him in a place where, I could always go and see him. But every other person just say he's ugly. I walk. So I take him out for walks in the evenings. We come back. I give him food 2 times a day. He was big. I don't know, maybe he was obese. So I had to make sure we go out for walk every evening. So people knew. Then when I heard Pugs I was like, is it not the Pug? When I heard the price of, when I wanted to buy a female afterwards, I think I was in Anambra. Then I wanted to buy a Pug. I gave somebody money, I think 250,000 naira to buy a Pug female, and I was told the price is 350. But I've always had Pug. So last, I still had to get the Pug. That was my first female. Yeah, I have a picture on my phone. She didn't stay though. She just started bleeding from the nose, and that was. When it comes to having dogs, somebody said you have to have this grave at the back of your heart. I don't know. This you have to have a grave, because I've come across a lot of dogs and I've lost a lot of dogs. You to have that experience.
Yeah, I have that experience. It's even worse for me. It's worse for the dog trainer than it is for the breeders.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and I'll explain because.
Okay, yeah, because while training the dog, you become more attached.
Very attached to the dog.
Yeah.
It's beyond just feeding the dog. You get to think how this dog thinks. You get to understand this dog's emotion.
Yeah.
You get to connect to these dogs on so many levels, and in just 2 months or 3 months, 1 month, they are gone.
Yeah.
It's like you go through a series of heartbreak every time.
Yes. I think when it comes to dealing or handling heartbreak, I think dog owners and pet lovers handle it better.
True.
Because these things you have seen it a lot of times. You understand?
Yeah.
You could come and say, oh, I love this puppy. You spend time with this puppy, and you guys have built some kind of friendship, and you guys are close, and all of a sudden something could just come up
and you know the connection, it's beautiful, and it's beyond how we connect with humans.
Yeah.
If I connect with you, we understand ourselves, we talk, we communicate with voice, with sound.
Yeah.
But with dogs, it's on another level.
Yeah.
The dog is not talking or saying anything, but you can understand what the dog is feeling.
Yeah.
It's more of energy than communication, like verbal communication and all that. So it's very strong, and it's different from what you feel for humans.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine that kind of love ending in just 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, depending on how long the dog lives. And you know you would never see this dog again.
That part breaks my heart so much.
So I really don't think there's any form of heartbreak from humans or any kind of pain that you can't go through after going through such thing with dogs. Like it's really different. People won't know, but it's really different. The first time I cried for the loss of any creature, whether human, animal, was for a dog. I've lost my grandparents, I never cried. I've lost friends from school, I never cried. The first time I cried, like I was weeping. my friend was silly enough to video me. And that was how the name actually came about, the dog addict.
Okay.
That was in 2016 when I lost Charlie.
Okay.
After seeing myself, I just said I'm addicted. That was just all I said to myself, and that was how I came up with the name, the dog addict.
Okay.
Which is now like
a brand.
Like most people don't even know my name; they just say TDA, which is the dog addict. Say dog addict. So it's really different. It's really different how we connect with these animals and all. The last time you talked about wanting to educate children, create awareness about dog training and how people relate to dogs and all that. Is there a story behind that?
Okay, just recently, I was in a conversation with a friend, and he was like, the only reason why I'm even still trying to talk to you is because of the dogs, or the only reason why I'm here is because of the dogs. Not for the dogs. Maybe I would have been somewhere else or doing some things other than talking to you, And that really hurt me. It gave me, I was heartbroken. Okay. I was devastated. I was like, we are very good friends, So, and he said something like this, and after days of feeling down, it just occurred to me, and I was like, oh, okay, so dogs actually, or animals actually can make two persons who might not want to talk to each other, or one person who doesn't want to talk to each other talk to somebody because of this dog. So because the dogs is still talking to me till tomorrow or maybe till today. But if we didn't have that connection with the dogs, maybe I would have I wouldn't have been able to reach him forever, and that was how I decided to maybe we could teach kids how to communicate with dogs and be friendly at a certain level with people and show respect and love and other things, like instead coming it's something apart from that particular scenario. Talking to people about dogs is one thing I enjoy doing. Like if you're a dog person, that's my poison. That's my poison. I easily trust dog people. Like you see the way I was easy with you.
That was crazy.
I was even a dog person. I could be angry with you for a while, but after that nothing. It's all love
Yeah.
because you are a dog person. You know, so that is just an animal person. I don't know, you catch my attention.
Yeah.
When I meet somebody and the person start talking, I don't like animals. I start looking at you like this, and I don't want to.
Now I want to share a very, very personal story. So while I was in school, I think in my third year, I had this girl I was seeing. We were hanging out. She was aware I had dogs, but she had not seen my dogs.
Okay.
And in school, after I started training and breeding already, so most people used to bring dogs to me to train, and I used to keep them in my apartment, and the dogs used to live with me in my house, in my room. I was staying in a self-contained apartment, but I had like a veranda where if I have visitors, I just take the dog out there. The first day she came to my house, she was looking at my dogs with disgust. And she was entering the room and she was like trying to avoid the dogs, and I was like, the dog won't bite you, it won't touch you. And she kept looking at the dogs with disgust and trying to move away from them. And when she left my house, I kept calling her. Today she doesn't know why.
Really?
But that was the reason.
Oh my god.
I've never said this before. I don't know if you see this video, she might understand.
Okay, but that's dog people for you. Understand?
Yeah.
So you're a dog person, you're an animal person. I come to your house, you have this, you have birds, you have rabbits, you have dogs, and I just see you as an easygoing person. I see you as somebody that cannot harm me or hurt me.
Yeah.
Yeah.